Have you ever seen someone start strong, but fade away just as quickly? That's what happens when effort isn't sustained. They don't understand the momentum. They stop when it gets hard, but the successful, they force themselves to be consistent even when it's hard. That's the difference. That's why the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. You don't get rich by working hard once. You get rich by working hard every day. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to pay its daily price. The moment you decide to force yourself to be consistent, even when it's hard, you take control of your future. Think about a drop of water falling on a rock. One drop does nothing. 100 drops make no visible change. But let that water drip consistently, and over time it carves through solid stone. That is the power of consistency. Small, repeated actions that lead to massive change. Most people fail because they expect immediate results. They go to the gym once, don't see a six-pack and quit. They invest in themselves for a few weeks, don't see instant success, and give up. But those who understand the power of repetition, who do the right things daily, even when they don't see immediate progress, those are the ones who win. The key is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Everyone has goals. Everyone has dreams, but the difference between those who achieve them and those who don't is simple. Discipline. You must train yourself to do what is necessary, not what is convenient. Discipline means waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It means following through on commitments when you don't feel like it. It means saying no to distractions and yes to progress. It's easy to act when you're motivated, but what about when you're not? That's where discipline steps in. Motivation fades, but discipline keeps you moving forward. A farmer doesn't plant seeds one day and expect to harvest the next. He waters them, nurtures them, and waits patiently. Success works the same way. You don't just act when you feel like it. You act because it's necessary. Years ago, I made a commitment to read every day. Not just when I was excited about learning, not just when I had free time, but every single day. Some days I was tired. Some days I didn't feel like it, but I did it anyway. And that habit changed my life. The knowledge I gained opened doors I never thought possible. Imagine if I had only read when I felt like it, I wouldn't be standing here today. Success isn't found in one grand moment. It's found in the small disciplines repeated daily. It's built in the quiet hours, in the choices that seem small but make all the difference. If you want success, don't look for shortcuts. Build the habits, take the daily actions, master the discipline, because in the end, the person who stays consistent, who stays disciplined, is the one who wins. Motivation is a spark. It gets you excited. It makes you feel like you can conquer the world. But the problem is, motivation fades. It's like taking a shower. You can't just do it once and expect to stay clean forever. That's why success isn't built on motivation alone. It's built on habits, on discipline, on the small things you do every single day. A young man once came up to me and said, "I just can't stay motivated long enough to reach my goals." I told him, "That's because you're waiting to feel motivated. Motivation is what gets you started, but habit is what keeps you going." The wealthy, the successful, they don't rely on feelings to take action. They have systems, routines, disciplines in place that ensure they move forward no matter what. Here's the secret. Small improvements repeated daily lead to massive results. It's called the power of compounding. Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. If you improve by just 1% every single day, it doesn't add up. It multiplies. 1% better each day means in a year, you're not just 365% better, you're 37 times better. That's the power of small, consistent action. Take Warren Buffett. He didn't become one of the world's richest men overnight. He started investing as a teenager and let his wealth compound over decades. It wasn't one big winning investment. It was years of consistent, smart decisions. That's why people who chase shortcuts and quick wins never make it. They don't understand that success is a process, not an event. A business doesn't become profitable overnight. A relationship doesn't become strong in one day. A skill isn't mastered in a single afternoon. But if you commit to getting just a little better each day, the results will astonish you over time. Let's say you want to become financially free. If you start by saving just a few dollars a day, investing in your knowledge, cutting one unnecessary expense, and making small financial improvements each week, in 5 years, your financial situation will look completely different. But most people don't do this because they think small changes don't matter. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they have to take massive action all at once. No. Take small actions, but take them every day. Because small, repeated actions create unstoppable momentum. Most people give up too soon because they don't see instant results. But success is like planting a seed. You don't see the tree growing at first, but if you water it daily, one day you wake up and it's towering above you. That's how greatness is built, one day at a time. If you want lasting success, don't wait for motivation. Build habits. Stick to small daily improvements. Stay consistent. Because when you master the power of daily effort, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Wealth isn't just something you acquire. It's something you maintain, something you grow, something you protect. The rich stay rich because they understand this fundamental truth. Success isn't an event. It's a process. It's a set of habits repeated day after day, year after year. The discipline that builds wealth is the same discipline that sustains it. I once met a man who built a thriving business, made millions, and then lost it all. Do you know why? He stopped doing the very things that made him successful in the first place. He got comfortable. He thought he had arrived. But success is never a one-time effort. It's not about making one great investment, landing one big client, or having one good year. It's about showing up consistently, managing your money wisely, reinvesting, learning, and staying in the game, even when it feels like you don't need to. Look at the wealthiest people in the world. They don't stop working on their craft just because they've made it. Warren Buffett still reads and studies markets daily. Athletes who dominate their sport don't stop training after one championship. They maintain their edge because they know that if they become inconsistent, they'll lose everything they work so hard for. Now let's talk about why so many struggle to get ahead financially. The truth is, most people don't lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. What they lack is consistency. They start with energy, excitement, and enthusiasm, but as soon as they face difficulty, they slow down. When the results don't come fast enough, they lose patience, and eventually they quit. That's why the poor stay poor, not because they aren't capable, but because they aren't consistent. I once knew a young man who wanted to start investing. He saved a little money, put it in the market, and watched it grow. But after a few months, he got impatient. He wanted big returns fast. So he pulled his money out and spent it. He never gave time for his wealth to grow. The secret wasn't that he didn't have the means. It was that he didn't stay consistent. Success rewards the person who shows up every day. The person who saves consistently, learns consistently, works consistently. It's not about making a fortune overnight. It's about making small, smart decisions and sticking with them over time. Because in the end, success isn't about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do every single day. Getting started is always the hardest part. The first mile of a long journey feels like the longest. The first few steps in a new venture feel uncertain. But something incredible happens when you push through that initial resistance. You build momentum. And momentum is what makes success feel almost effortless over time. Think of a train at a standstill. It takes an enormous amount of energy to get it moving, but once it's in motion, it becomes almost unstoppable. Success works the same way. The first few weeks of waking up early to work on your goals might feel tough, The first few months of investing might not show huge returns. The first few years of a business might feel slow, but if you stay consistent, if you keep doing the right things, you'll notice something shift. Your actions will start working for you. Your effort will compound. The hardest part is just staying in motion long enough for that momentum to take over. But what happens when you don't stay consistent? What happens when you stop just because you don't see instant results? You break the momentum and you go back to square one. That's why so many people never make real progress. They work hard for a short while, then stop. They make a little money, then spend it all. They go to the gym for a month, then quit. And every time they stop, they have to start over again. But those who win, those who truly change their lives, are the ones who keep going even when it's hard, even when the results are slow. Now, why is it so hard to stay consistent? Because discipline is painful. Waking up early instead of sleeping in is painful. Investing money instead of spending it all is painful. Saying no to distractions and staying focused on your vision is painful. But that pain is temporary. The pain of regret, on the other hand, lasts forever. Ask someone who ignored their health for years, and now they're paying the price. Ask someone who never took their finances seriously and now has nothing to show for their years of work. The moment always comes when we realize the price of inaction is far greater than the price of discipline. The question is, will you make the sacrifice now, or will you pay the price later? Because one way or another, you will pay. The difference is whether you pay with discipline or with regret. A mighty oak tree doesn't grow overnight. It starts as a tiny seed, planted in the soil, nurtured with water and sunlight, and given time to take root. Day by day it grows. Not in leaps, not in sudden bursts, but through small, consistent progress. Success works the same way. It isn't built through one grand action, one lucky break, or one big decision. It's built through small disciplines, repeated daily, that compound into something extraordinary over time. Most people underestimate the power of small actions because they don't see instant results. They think saving a little money each month won't make a difference. They believe reading 10 pages of a good book won't change their thinking. They assume exercising for just 15 minutes a day won't make an impact. And because the change is so small at first, they give up. But here's the truth. Every great success is simply the result of small, consistent disciplines applied over time. A person who saves a small amount consistently will eventually build wealth. A person who reads a little each day will eventually develop wisdom. A person who exercises regularly will eventually have strength and energy. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing the right things consistently for long enough that they transform your life. Imagine two people. One decides to improve his life by just 1% every day, and the other does nothing. After a week, you won't see much difference. After a month, it's still barely noticeable. But give it a year, 5 years, 10 years, one will be living in abundance, and the other will still be wondering why nothing has changed. The secret to success isn't in making huge changes overnight. It's in committing to small disciplines daily. Because just like a tiny seed grows into a mighty tree, small actions lead to massive success. So here's the challenge. Start small, but start now. Choose just one habit that, if done consistently, would change your life in the next year. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a book every day. Maybe it's exercising for 20 minutes. Maybe it's making one extra sales call or saving a small percentage of your income. Whatever it is, commit to it. Not for a day, not for a week, but for the long haul. If you stay consistent, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching, your future will be unrecognizable. Because success isn't about doing extraordinary things. It's about doing ordinary things extraordinarily well, over and over again. So force yourself to be consistent. Because once you master consistency, you master success.